Oh, what's going on, ladies and gentlemen? It's Never Fail, back with part 3 of the what would make Call of Duty perfect for me. And this time we're talking about lethal grenades, tactical grenades, and equipment. Yes, I preferred the way Black Ops 1 had it set up, where there were 3 different categories and not 2, and where scavenger didn't replenish the equipment. I like that. I prefer that. I wish it would go back to that. Anyway, let's start right off with a sensor grenade. I mean, I've never used it. It serves a purpose, but I don't see it being used a whole lot. But hell, why not leave it in the game? Some people do use it. I've seen it used against me, and I'm sure it's probably decent for search and destroy and shit like that. So why not leave it in the game for them? Combat axe, throwing knife, any of that stuff, you gotta leave that, man. That's a fun little, piece of equipment or lethal to use. It's a lot of fun to throw those at people. So, got no issue with that. Concussions and flashbangs. Concussion grenade and flashbangs. I think in Modern Warfare 3, you saw an influx of people using flashbangs, and the reason I believe that is because they had the same throw time. I believe Black Ops has gotten it right, Black Ops 1 and 2, in regards to it taking longer to throw a flashbang than a concussion grenade, because I personally believe the flashbang is a better stun, as long as you hit them properly, because it blinds the shit out of them. Whereas the concussion grenade, you can hit somebody with a concussion, and they can still kill you fairly easily if you ain't on point with your aim. So I'd like to see that stay the way it is. I'd like to see it where concussions always throw faster. I would like to see where the duration of both of them are reduced a little bit, mainly because I just think they last too damn long personally. So I would like to see that change. But if it doesn't, I can understand that. Don't really have a whole lot more on flashbangs and concussions. Like I said, I mean, that's pretty standard stuff. Maybe make it where you can't have more than 2. Because I didn't like how in Black Ops 1 with, I believe it was Warlord Pro, you could carry 3. I didn't really care for that, especially with Scavenger. Don't get me wrong, I abused it, but that doesn't mean I, think it needs to stay that way. I think Black Ops 2's got it right, where 2 is the max, unless you use the wild card to carry 4 different tacticals, and then you're not carrying lethal, so that's okay, that's balanced. The motion sensor, portable radar, the Modern Warfare 3 version, the portable radar, complete and utter garbage. Should not have been in the game. There should not be a piece of equipment that basically shows everybody on, shows up on everybody on your team's minimap when somebody walks into its radius. That's stupid. I mean, that is just absolutely stupid. Motion sensor, I didn't really have a problem with. It had a legitimate counter, so no issues with that, mainly because it served a purpose without being OP. It was your own personal little motion sensor. Yes, it's really more of a camping tool, but you could use it to, especially on like the smaller maps like Newtown, you could use that to kind of keep eyes on people in the middle of the map and stuff like that. So I like seeing that in the game. The shock charge, that was the other the other tac grenade in good old Black Ops 2 here. I know a lot of people don't like the shock charge. I don't really use it a lot anymore, but I do believe the shock charge serves a very good purpose, and that is notifying you of people trying to come through certain flank routes. And I believe it should stay in the game because it's a very tactical piece of equipment. So I'd like to see that stay and have no issues with it. I mean, it's annoying as fuck whenever you walk into one, but I think it definitely serves a purpose. Ideally, the stun on it wouldn't last very long, but it would serve the purpose of notifying you that somebody's coming from a certain route. If you've watched any of my older hijack videos, I always like to throw one on the little door latch thing leading to the bottom of the yacht. That way I could know if somebody was coming from underneath to come up behind us. So that I'd like to see pretty much stay just as is. Like I said, maybe with a slight duration decrease as far as the stun. The Black Hat I have no issues with. I believe it works phenomenally the way it is. I believe it is a nice piece of equipment to have for people who don't want to run around with launchers. So I like having that. The timing on it, as far as how long it takes, is perfect. The jammer, man, I miss it. I miss the sensor, the freaking jammer from Black Ops 1. I really do. I think it would serve a great purpose here in Black Ops 2 in regards to jamming enemy sentry guns and guardians, bouncing betties and all that stuff. I'd love to see that return. It'd make it a lot easier, especially like if you've seen the Worms videos. If it could jam trophy systems, that would be phenomenal, because I felt the jammer was more of a useful piece of equipment to flush out campers, whereas you don't have that now, so you kind of have to use EMP grenades, which works similar, but I prefer the jammer. I don't know why. I just prefer the jammer. I don't really care for the EMP grenades all that much. I personally would like to see EMP grenades only destroy enemy equipment. I'd like to see it not mess up the enemy minimap or prevent them from calling in streaks. But I understand if that doesn't happen. Oh shit, we gotta hurry up. Running out of video here. Claymores and bouncing betties, I just want to see them removed. I feel they're cheap kills. Plain and simple, cheap kills. Takes no skill whatsoever to get a kill one of those. You just put it somewhere and hope to God it kills somebody. Don't like that. I don't like cheap kill items being in the game, so I'd like to see that removed completely. Shock charges can serve the purpose for people who are wanting to camp, to be notified when somebody's coming that way. You don't need something that can actually kill them. I think it's too camper friendly, and I don't really care for camping. So I'd like to see those removed completely from the game. C4, I'd like to see the distance you can throw it reduced. I love C4 in Black Ops 1 or Black Ops 2. I use it on every class, but I would still say that you shouldn't be able to throw it quite as far as you can, and I think that would make it perfect. The blast radius is kind of large, but it is a huge ass pack of C4, so you shouldn't be able to throw it as far, and I believe that would balance it out perfectly. Semtex and frag, keep them just like they are. You can't throw the Semtex as far, and its blast radius is not as good, but you don't have to cook it. Whereas the frag, you can throw a lot further, and it has a better blast radius, but you have to cook the grenade. So I think they balance one another out perfectly. Tac insert. This one might be a sensitive topic for some people. I'd like to see it removed from the game. I know it serves a purpose, especially in game modes like demolition, to get out of a spawn trap, or in objective game modes in order to hold down the objective. But in all honesty, the three things you see most people use tac inserts to do, first and foremost, is boost. Second would be to camp, and third would be to just try to make it easier to spawn trap. I'd like to see that completely removed, pinpoint blank period. And the last thing that I have on my little note card here to talk about is the trophy system. I think it's a great idea, but I wish it would only be able to be deployed next to an objective. And that's about it. Hope you enjoyed it. Thank you for watching.